Hey folks, what's going on? It's me, Andrew Westmoreland, back again with yet another stream. And let's see if this actually works. Hey folks, what's going on? It's me, Andrew West. Okay, I got audio on YouTube, I'm seeing. So let's try this again. I don't know what happened. It just cut me off here. So let's just reset and try this again. I have been away for a while for various reasons. Just kind of feel like there's no point in talking about a lot of this stuff, specifically, well, especially on YouTube. It's kind of very little, if any, point to talk about these things on other platforms, because I have maybe 100th of the followers there that I do here. So it's like I get 20 views on YouTube, I get 20 views on the other platforms. It's just kind of like sometimes I just don't feel like doing this. I feel like I'm wasting my time because of the, well, specifically YouTube suppression. But let's get into this story because I think this was one of the most infuriating things that I was looking at the other day. That Joe Biden, we know Joe Biden is a avid, or I should say a lifelong racist. Okay. And this man just knows no bounds to how evil he can go. In fact, he's gone. This is like the woke left philosophy, right? They think that to end racism and discrimination and stuff, they too have to cause racism and discrimination. And they get so twisted up in their logic that they think they're actually helping black people by giving them crack pipes. They think that somehow that's going to help them. Now, I'm going to get into this article, but what's interesting to me is the extent to which people are just completely unaware of the news. They have no clue this stuff is going on, and the way I describe it is like friends and family. Oh yeah, we voted. I voted for Biden because I didn't like Trump. He was on the news a lot, and I didn't like him, so I voted for Biden. And they're like, okay, well, have you been following the news on like what Biden is doing? And they're like, no, I just kind of voted and went about my day. I'm like, okay, well, this last year, and I start listing off some major stuff, and they're just like confused and dazed, and they have this weird face, like disbelief. Um, Sometimes they'll just soak it up and listen, and other times they're just like, no, that's not real, that's not true. And I'm like, I start sharing stories and that sort of thing, and people are stuck in this concept or this mind frame that you just vote and forget about it, not knowing the responsibilities of what a vote is. That is not how that works. Okay, it's not how a vote works. You have to keep these politicians accountable, hold them accountable, or else you're going to get tyrannies and oppression and all these horrible things that they can do. And they have no clue. They have zero clue. These are low information voters. These are people who are again completely unaware of just how terrible this is. Now, why are we saying, or why am I saying they're giving crack pipes to black people? Well, equity. This is about equity. Okay. Because the Biden administration was giving crack pipes and other drug paraphernalia, other types of pipes to black and brown communities, black primarily, and would probably not give poor white communities like trailer parks and extreme mountainous or rural areas these crack pipes. It would be the black and brown communities. That's equity for you and diversity. And they think they're minimizing, what does it say? They're trying to reduce harms. Okay. So conservative legislators are outraged by recent reports. It's not just conservative legislators, it's Anyone who sees this and understands at face value what it is, a lifelong racist politician, a white male who was a senator for like 47 years, said the N word more times than we can really count. Worked with the racist segregationists, worked with former Klan members who were in the Senate. Gave eulogies at their funerals, all this stuff. Like, he's a known racist, still saying racist things. Okay, so let's get that clear. Now, recent reports that a Biden administration, a drug harm reduction program, may put some of its funds towards safer smoking kits. Okay, so Marsha Blackburn was talking about it a little bit. She had grave concerns over the $30 million grant program from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. Could include subsidizing drug paraphernalia, which drug paraphernalia is illegal in many states. I know in Virginia, simply having a glass bowl or a pipe or any of that, you will be arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. So they are funding crimes. Now, whether or not you think those should be a crime is... I need a Hunter crack pipe. Give me that. Yes. It is. Let's. I'm going to keep reading, but yes. A lot of people have been making comments about Hunter Biden and this is a Hunter Biden initiative. He pushed his father to, give out crack pipes because crack is one of his favorite drugs of choice. It's just like, oh my gosh, this is outrageous. So I'm trying to see. Okay, I understand the concern, but what I need to see what's in here. The controversy stems from recent disclosed requests for proposals under the harm reduction grant program, part of the Biden administration's effort to lessen the impact of drug addiction on marginalized communities. Again, marginalized communities, as if, white people don't have problems too. It's so frustrating to hear stuff like this. Opioids and meth are huge in the white community, and the black community. I mean, you have issues with harder drugs like crack and meth as well, but there's different addictions for different communities. But the fact that they're only focusing on one is just it's so absurdly racist. It's hard to not get angry at this stuff. Now, the initiative also intends to fund facilities offering safe syringes, which I've had issues with before. Opioid reversal drugs, fentanyl test kits, and other methods meant to stem the U.S. Striking drug overdose crisis, which killed more than 100,000 Americans between May 2020 and April of 2021. That seems low, actually. I think that's low. I could be wrong, but I thought it was more than just 100,000. I thought it was like 200,000 or 300,000 people who died in a year from opioids, which would put it on par with COVID deaths, and we know how they reported that stuff. Let's see. So, yeah, I have an issue with the needle exchange too. Again, you're just helping people get high. We're trying to reduce harm and the spread of disease. Like, I, I'm trying to be as polite as possible here, but I don't give a fuck. If you're one of these people who intentionally go out and do these hard drugs and are addicted to it, I don't care about you. I'm not interested in helping you. I understand a lot of people are, and that's good. I'm glad that there are people out there that have that sense of community and want to help these people, but they don't want your help. They don't want help. Okay, they chose to use drugs and substances instead of finding a proper emotional outlet or a spiritual outlet or religious outlet or whatever. They decided to destroy their body permanently. In many cases, um, yeah, I don't care about that. I'm not interested in that. What I am interested though is I would say the taxpayers. Like I didn't vote to fund stuff like this, and I know a lot of people who are like extremely angry and upset at all of these initiatives that get funded against our wills. And I guess that's something for a conversation another time. Slash something we kind of touched on before, where I think you should be able to pick and choose where your tax dollars go. If you don't want to support giving crack pipes to crackheads, you shouldn't have to pay for that. And I don't think that's unreasonable. Let's see. Fiery Waco's talking about making all drugs legal and pass the savings on to the end users so they can afford their own crack pipe. I have no problem with legalizing drugs because it's none of my business. If you want to go smoke opium or crack or do weed or whatever in the privacy of your own home, by all means do it. The second you step out into the street and start using these substances, I have a problem with it because I don't want to be around it. I don't want to see it. I don't want you on my roads. I don't want to have to interact with crackheads. Okay. And you should be arrested if you are high on anything. If you are drunk, you should be arrested. These are crimes for a reason. We don't need to interact with crackheads. They need to be in prison. Now, there are people who get caught up in human trafficking and slavery, and part of the process for many of these people is they get the abusers, the slavers, they get the victim high on drugs and addicted to drugs and make them dependent. It's brilliant and brilliantly evil what these people do to these fellow human beings and how they abuse them. It is shockingly brilliant and evil, like I said. But I'm just completely sick and tired of these conversations where we're acting like that we're talking about people that are equal to us. And let me explain that further, because people are going to be like, you don't think they're equal to you? No, I don't. I do not think that a crackhead is equal to me, a functioning member of society. Okay. I am fat. I am obese. Okay. I am maybe even morbidly obese. I understand that. And it's something I'm trying to work on, but I am able to go to work every day. I'm able to do my job as my job requires it. And I don't have any problems with that. When I drive on the roads, I'm not under the influence and I'm like, unable to drive safely. Whatever it may be, I'm able to do it to the best of my ability and be, again, a functioning member of society. A crackhead is not able to do that. They can't even hold a job most of the time. They're just laying out in the street corners, begging for spare change and money and food. And when they get it, most of the time they're more interested in getting that next hit of crack or whatever drug we're talking about than actually taking care of themselves. That's the entire point of this. They're junkies. Okay. Irie Waco, yeah. Right. What they're doing is illegal. And a lot of these like big cities, these places where a high number of people are congregating, you'll notice in like California, it's like 50 to 70,000 homeless people, if not more. And we're not just talking about transient, like some you fell on hard times and you're temporarily homeless, but you're trying to get your life together. We're talking about